Good evening and welcome back to Sports Talk ATL. I am Chase Earl, joined by Alex Lord, former NFL linebacker, 5 years with the Falcons. Chris Draft is going to join us later in the show to talk about the huge trade that the Falcons made. And overall, if you're an Atlanta sports fan, yesterday was one of the best days we have had in a while. I mean, we did something. Matthew Judon alone getting traded, something that we as Falcons fans have quite literally been asking for over a decade. And the fact that it took this long into the offseason and over the last 15 years.
We played football in less than a month.
But the fact that I have no idea why it took this long. I have no idea why it took so long for 15 years. Different regime after different regime couldn't come in and just say, hey, let's go get the guy that's proven. We haven't drafted and developed a pass rusher literally in my lifetime. And yet the last time we got one, John Abram, free agency. Like that is what we needed to do. We get him. That's huge. Falcons defense, much more formidable. Actual contenders, very much possibilities. The Braves, Michael Harris, first at bat, grand slam, bomb. I mean, welcome back, Michael Harris. Yeah. We talked about rust. Ain't no rust. If there was any rust, he didn't show it. I mean, Grant Holmes, 7 innings. I mean, come on, big guy. First win of his major league career. How's this guy not ever been in the major leagues before? I don't know, because the stuff looks good. It looks like he's a major league pitcher. And then
No. This is just I was going to say, this is the Braves where like we're used to, where some bum comes off the street and he's the best version of himself.
Yeah, we haven't had
that this year.
But he has been that guy. I mean, he's a legitimate guy that you feel every 5 days could go out there and pitch. Now, you might not need him with Ronaldo Lopez, but as I've said yesterday, with Minter now probably out for the season, going to need hip surgery. We can't have too much good news, right? Minter out, and then Jorge Soler leaves last night games with a hamstring tightness. They have it day to day, but I swear every single time something day to day, and then it's like, yeah, the guy is no longer with us. Yeah. It's like, I mean, that's literally.
What are you talking about? It was just an ankle sprain. Yeah, he passed away.
It's like, yeah, but major complications in the hamstring, started bleeding everywhere, too much blood. I mean, it's a joke, but it's not a joke because it hasn't happened to the Braves. I mean, how many times Ozzie Albies left? I remember. And then it's like, oh, he broke his toe. They're like, yeah, it's just a minor. Oh, he broke his toe. Yeah. And then it's like
Michael Harris, his hamstring took way longer than anybody. I mean, he moved to the 60-day IL. I mean,
you were hoping for Ronald Acuna. Yeah. Like he was like, I'm feeling good after the game, and then boom, another torn ACL. So yeah, it's just been nothing but bad news from the injury front. Hopefully he can avoid an IL stint, because for the first time in a while, I think we can use the word positive momentum, because you're starting to get players back. You got Michael Harris. You have a little bit more depth in the lineup. Ronaldo Lopez is supposed to come back by the end of the week, maybe next week for that Phillies series. We see him. Maybe we see him on Sunday against the Angels. And then you win three critical games. I mean, this was a series where you were 1.5 games against the Giants. You could have fallen well behind in the wild card race. Now you even add some cushion ahead of the Mets, and then really distance yourself from the rest of the pack, which are like the Giants, the Cubs, and teams like that. So I know we shouldn't be doing this. I'm not going to say the Braves are back, but we can acknowledge that positive developments are happening and momentum is starting to gain some steam here.
Yeah, I want to say it. I'm not going to say it because like 2 weeks ago, we won 6 in a row, and I was saying it. I was slamming my fist. We're back. We're back, boys. And then we go and lose some pathetic games in the worst possible ways. We find new ways to lose. And I know we're turning it around now. I'm not going to be the wet blanket, but I am going to be cautious because, I mean, this season has, like you said, one thing after another. AJ Minter, that's terrible news. He's such a critical piece of this team. Jorge Soler, all we can do is wait and hope. Soft tissue. So tricky. So you never really know with him, but yeah, it's great to have Mike back. That was a huge concern of mine as well with Ozzie Albies, who's supposed to be returning less than a month. As far as the last time we heard from Alex Anthopoulos, was hitting the ground running because, like I said, the Braves didn't only need these guys for October. We need them to get to October. Like, the playoffs aren't a sure thing, and Mike Harris and Ozzie Albies coming back and getting the swing of things, wasn't something that was necessarily a luxury. Like, we needed them to come in and immediately start being productive. Mike was tearing the cover off the ball in AAA. I was hopeful it was going to continue, and that was his first Grand Slam, was it not?
Yeah, first Grand Slam, went into McCovey Cup. I think it's like the 134th homer. It was an absolute shot, towering shot. I mean, one of those vintage Michael Harris shots that we haven't seen a lot of this year, even when he was healthy. So really good to see. And I think that's the reason I'm calling it officially positive momentum, is because it's not just Braves winning a few baseball games. Even when they won 6 out of 7, it's like those are ugly. Like they were like some ugly wins. Maybe they had a couple of good games in there, but I was still like, there's something about this team that I'm. But Raisel Iglesias, and it's the fact that Brian Snitker kind of told his team, and I talked about it earlier, it's go time. Like the way Raisel Iglesias come in and said, hey, we need this win. I'm going to come in there and be the most dominant closer in baseball for about 9 outs earlier in the week. That was unbelievable stuff from a guy that's been so pivotal to this team. I mean, and I think you get a message from the manager. You get a message from Raisel Iglesias, who's one of the leaders of this baseball club.
That was a message from Mike. I mean, he's like, I'm back.
And
We're back.
And then you come back, and then the first inning, first at bat, you hit a grand slam. Yeah. It's like, and it's like, okay, I think everybody, and I know they've been trying. I'm not saying they're trying, but there's different wins where you can say, all right, like we're a little bit back right here. And I'm not saying the Braves are going to go back to being a 2023 team, but they understand the task at hand, and it's going to be a battle to the end. And all these guys, these big players, these Harrises, these Iglesias, we had Matt Olson home run yesterday. We had a Sean Murphy. They're going to have to start playing up to their thing, and it's not going to have to be every night, but each night one of them is going to have to step up, and that's what we're starting to see, and that's why I'm a little more optimistic.
Yeah, all we got to do is keep stacking days, Braves fans. That's all we got to keep doing, and one game after another, next thing we know, we might be facing the Phillies for the NL East on the line.
Yeah.
Yesterday, so we take care of business today. We get the lowly Angels.
Yesterday had to be the first day all 3 of the top teams in the NL East won. I swear.
There you go.
I can't remember the last time everyone actually had a winning day, and everyone did it rather comfortably. 9-5 Phillies, 9-1 Mets, and then obviously the Braves won 11-2 or whatever that. Yeah. So hopefully that doesn't continue. Hopefully it's just the Braves that keeps winning.
Well, we got the Giants today, and it's going to be an earlier game. If you guys haven't been
Max
watching,
Fried on the bump.
I fell asleep again.
Dude,
I'm trying to stay up for these games, and I'm falling asleep.
I will tell you what. You want to talk about positive momentum? We've seen Max Fried now 2 times. He hasn't looked like himself. Control's been all over. He comes out there and starts and goes and looks like Max Fried.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be on this show tomorrow talking some crazy stuff, guys. I'm just warning you guys, because there's pieces, right? And then later in the week, Ronaldo Lopez comes back and looks pretty good. Like all of a sudden you can start saying, ooh, I'm feeling pretty good, because, Max Fried, we know what Max Fried is and what he's going to be at some point. It's just a matter of when, not if, but I'm ready to see when right now, because as I said, it's time for each of these guys to step up and make a statement. It's Max Fried's turn today, and that's who I'm looking to today to really carry this club and say, hey, it's go time. It's go time. And I think the team's got that message. I'm excited for today. I'm excited for Braves baseball again. Don't let me down.
Happy Max Fried Day.
Yeah, do not let me down, Max. I'm putting all my eggs right into your basket. Go get it done.